Hello there, world of tankers. I'm Blitz, and in today's video, we're going to be playing in the Jagdpanther II and comparing it to the Ferdinand. Both of these are tier 8 German tank destroyers, and you can actually get them on the tech tree, so no premiums in today's video. So if you were finding yourself going down the Jagdpanther line, you would either see the Jagdpanther II or the Ferdinand to get to the Jagdtiger. So of course, it's a very tricky situation. Which one do you want to go for, the heavily armored TD or the more faster, lightly armored one? So in today's video, I'm going to be comparing both of them for you guys, letting you know which one I do think is a better tank, and as well, which one do I think is more fun to drive. So make sure to stay tuned, click that subscribe button down below if you do like this type of content, especially because once again, you guys voted on a poll. As you can see here, you voted and you wanted this to be the most, actually a crazy amount of you too, 3,000 people have you voted. So make sure to keep clicking that subscribe button down below if you want to vote on more videos, map positioning, and other stuff like that to come soon to the channel. But getting straight into it, we're going to start off with the Ferdinand. Now I'm going to say right off the bat, I do think the Ferdinand is a super strong tank destroyer, although it has been power crept quite a bit. When I first got this tank years ago, I actually chose this over the Jagdpanther because I like armor. I'm definitely a person that likes more big tanks with armor where you can brawl with the heavies, and when I first got this tank, yeah, it did a great job at that. But nowadays, with so many tanks having so much penetration, the armor really just doesn't stand up to what it used to. So the upper plate on this tank is about 210 millimeters thick, which, yeah, it was pretty thick, but nowadays, pretty much all tier 8 and tier 9 and even tier 7 tank destroyers, tier 8 mediums, heavy tanks, all of them can penetrate the superstructure of this tank as long as you have decent premium, and pretty much all tier 8 vehicles have 200 millimeters of standard pen. Yeah, it's pretty easy to penetrate the superstructure. As well, the upper plate on the tank, that's pretty thick. It's about 220, and below the upper plate, the other upper plate, should I say, is about 250. So it does have good armor. It's just that the biggest part, which is next to the gun mantlet, is pretty weak. However, I will say the Ferdinand has very, very good gun angles, depression, a lot of things going for it. It has 8 degrees of gun depression, which is extremely flexible when you do think about it for a tier 8 tank destroyer. A lovely fire there, 622 damage. As well, the Ferdinand has a... Ooh, that guy just stopped right out in the open for some reason. So let's put on our adrenaline here, get another nice tap into there. That SU almost out-reloaded us. But we do have excellent gun depression. As well, we have 30 degrees of gun arcing, which is great. 15 to the left and 15 to the right. You don't normally find that with tank destroyers, but this tank has excellent... it's actually very nice that you're able to just very easily angle the tank. You can be very flexible. It's very mobile, actually, for only going 30 kilometers per hour. There we go, 600 damage, little tap there. And yeah, you can see that the tank is very, very flexible on all types of terrain. So we want to get another HE into that WT. So there we go, another 500 damage HE. And we did get tapped right in the trap wheel, but we've taken quite a bit more off that WT than he has managed to take off us. So I'm very fine with that trade. Ooh, I would have loved to have gotten that T-49. In fact, I still might be able to. Let's try and slip our way through here and get a shell in. There we go, 561 damage. We are already racking up the damage like a beast in this tank. We have this T-26E4 who I would love to shoot, but a lot of tanks right now here. Let's see if we can get this WT. Yes, I wanted to clear the WT first. That's a guy that's very, very deadly. And now that we have a tank like this T-49 here, well, this guy isn't much of a threat because, of course, he can't really pen us. So, nice little love tap there, and he is taken out. So, this was a great game that showed the Ferdinand in all of its glory. Another HE shell into that Amex CDC. You can see that when you get the HE out in this tank, it really does hurt, and all that's left is the M103. So this was a great game to sort of show all of the attributes of this tank. It's great in the correct given scenarios, and there you go. So that was 3,500 damage pulled out there. Actually, maybe even a little more because of that fire. So let's see how much damage we pulled out here. We did 3,700 damage and actually came out with a mastery, so that's pretty impressive for the Ferdinand. But you can see, judging that I did get a mastery for only 3,700 damage, yeah, not necessarily the greatest thing when you do think about it. But talking about the tank, as I said, it's very flexible. As you saw there, I was able to hit easy shots. It's got great aiming time, great dispersion, great DPM, 2,700. Overall, the Ferdinand is a great tank, and I absolutely love it. This was one of my favorite tier 8 tank destroyers when I first got it, and it's still one of my favorites. It's slow, but it does have an excellent power-to-weight ratio. Great gun depression, great angles all round. So I actually do like the Ferdinand more than the Jagdpanther II. However, which one is better? I might have to slide towards the Jagdpanther. Now, the reason for that being is, first of all, the Jagdpanther is a quick tank. It goes 50 kilometers per hour. It is built on the Panther II hull, as it literally says in the name, otherwise known as the JPANTHER II. So the Ferdinand, of course, was built on the Tiger P hull, but they never buffed the hull like they did for the Tiger P. So yeah, it's kind of like a non-buff Tiger P hull. But the Jagdpanther II actually has decent upper plate armor, about 180 millimeters, and as well the Jagdpanther II has an amazing superstructure that is 250 millimeters thick. So the Jagdpanther II has a lot of good things going for it. And our STA, yeah, not necessarily doing the best things for the team here. Not necessarily a tank destroyer dude, but I guess he's going to camp like a tank destroyer. I'm going to have to push him like a medium. I hate when tanks do that, but we're going to be pushing here. At least our challenger is a tank destroyer. But you can see here, I would never have gotten this far up in the Ferdinands. I can easily push my tank into a position like this, and if the enemy team does try pushing their tanks across here, I can easily snap them. Now, unlike the Ferdinands, you do not have great gun depression in this tank, only 6 degrees. Yeah, definitely nothing to brag about. But you do actually have decent gun arc again. I think it's about 10 degrees to the left and to the right. Nothing like the Ferdinands, but it is still pretty flexible. And as well, you can turn very, very quickly in this tank. So it does make up for it, in my opinion, on some of the factors. So, that is the only tank spotted so far. Ooh, they're all spotted over there. Okay, so I'm going to be pushing my tank, I think maybe quite aggressive. I'm not sure yet. We have that FCM who's getting a couple shells in, so I actually am going to push it up here because it doesn't look like those guys are going to be pushing in anytime soon. So let's get a shell into this T-44. There you go, 491 damage. Now we can back up here. Let's try and wiggle it back and forth. Oof, you're taken out already. And now we do have the Tiger. So let's try and just drive over the ridge here, praying that their tank destroyers aren't waiting. 550 damage, but you can see the hull on this tank is way, way thinner. So, oof, yeah, those are the tank destroyers that just snapped us. We lost literally all of our HP. Actually, it was only one TD that I think hit us there, but yeah, 325 hit points. If we were in the Ferdinand, we'd still be sitting at around 600, 700 now, so I really can't take any shells in right now, where other TDs like the Ferdinand would be able to. But we're not really going to be able to get damage out in this game, sadly, just because I've got to be very, very careful. So we got to go right up where the bush is. Now we can do a good job. This STA is still camping. I'm actually going to call him out. I'm going to say STA stop camping. Oh, you know what? Let's shoot this guy first. There you go. Nice tap right through the bushes. We should not have been detected from that, which we weren't. Perfect. So yes, when you are hidden behind the bushes, you shouldn't be camping. But yeah, I'm actually very disappointed in that STA, just literally camping the entire battle. So here we go. Let's drive in here. As you can see, going 50 kilometers per hour. Actually 55. Wow, this tank goes really, really quick. So here we go. Let's see if we can get a nice tap into this guy. There we go. We actually finished each other off. So I am going to tell this STA to stop camping. Just because it is very annoying, and I don't like it when teammates do that. Not effective at all for the team whatsoever. And yeah, so if you ever see teammates doing this, if you ever see mediums, oh, now he listens. Okay, thankfully he at least listened, but if you ever see teammates doing this, please call them out, because it's not right. You know, that guy, we should have easily pushed through on medium side. I shouldn't have died, but because of that, we most likely did die. But we are going to win the battle, which is always a pretty nice thing. So, yeah, I'll play one more game in the Jagdpanther II, just because we really didn't get out the most damage. But you did see that in that scenario, we were able to run the tank correctly. We were able to use our excellent mobility, get into position, get out a bunch of shells on not only their tank destroyers, but their medium tanks, their heavy tanks. You're able to do a great job going all around the map. And that's what's nice about the Jagdpanther. And that's why I do feel, and I'll say now, it is a more flexible tank, is because you're able to go around the map way quicker and in style too. Like the Jagdpanther, yeah, how quick does it go? Is it 55 or just 50? I thought it was 50, but I may be wrong on that. Wow, 55. So yeah, the Jagdpanther II is a way more flexible tank just because it's quicker. You've got that mobility. You're able to support your team. While the Ferdinand is decently quick on just having a good power-to-weight ratio, it's nowhere near the Jagdpanther II, which means that you can go medium route, you can go heavy route, you can get away from really stressful situations in this tank, where the Ferdinand, yeah, you're kind of stuck there once you put your tank in that position. So I would definitely suggest, if you're just trying to grind this line for the Jag Tiger, I would go for the Jagdpanther II. However, I personally like the Ferdinand more just because it's sort of a trip down memory lane. That was actually the second tier 8 tank destroyer I ever got, so I really like the tank. The first was the AT-15, and yeah, I can't say that was a fun ride. It was a wild ride, but not necessarily the most fun. So Here we go, already going 35 kilometers per hour. The Ferdinand would be all the way back there at spawn still. So I'm going to be pushing my tank in my favorite bush right up here. And yeah, we can easily get into this bush. It's just very flexible on the mobility. As well, you have 3,000 DPM in this tank. This is more DPM than your Scorpion G. Now, the aiming time on this tank is a little bit longer than the Ferdinand. Same for the on-movement dispersion values, but it does make up for it with 300 more damage per minute. So you definitely have advantages with this tank. Now, it doesn't look like their team's actually pushing this way. Well, I take that back. We're just so quick that, you know, sometimes you don't know. So I'm still going to wait here. I don't know where their team is pushing, if they're going heavy route, if they're going medium route. There's only one tank spotted so far, and usually they're camping in the bush I'm literally sitting on parallel to. So I'm not going to make the move yet. Okay, there we go. So they are here. So I'm going to push out. Please don't have any tank destroyers in that bush. It doesn't look like they do. That is good for me. So I think maybe they might have pushed some of their heavies on the other side as well. We are detected, which, yeah, not necessarily my favorite thing. Yep, they pushed across. Okay, so we're going to jump over here before we start getting nailed by tanks. Okay, I don't really know what their team's doing, to be honest. They got tanks all around the map. So this 34-3, please get a tracking shell into that guy. I think he did, which means we can put on our adrenaline and... Oh, we just didn't get that shell, and that kind of sucked. But here we go. Let's see if we can maybe get this Tiger. We've got the Tiger turret, and aim, and fire. There we go. 497 damage out there. I hope that this T-26 isn't going to shoot us. But at the same time, we do have the Ferdinand. And you know what? I'm just going to drive out in the open to show you the Ferdinand armor. I'm going to take a shell for the team here. I'm just going to show you how weak it is. So, yeah, that's the Ferdinand's hull. You can see when you've got a lot of pen, it really doesn't stand a chance whatsoever. And as well, the Ferdinand loses on the reload to us. So I can literally just sit here, out-reload that Ferdinand, and yeah, we easily cleared him out of the battlefield. So that kind of showed you the issue with the Ferdinand. It's good, but it kind of lacks in the DPM, and when you have high penetration rounds, yeah, they pretty much just eat you apart. So we have this T-26 here, who we're going to be finishing off in just a second or two. So let's just wait for our reload to pop back in, put on our auto-aim, and there you go. So you can definitely see mobility, in my opinion, once and for all triumphs over the armor. Now, I don't think that's true for all tanks in the game. I think that when you do have some vehicles, armor is definitely a major advantage. But for this tank, I think mobility does definitely increase your survivability. So let's get a nice tap right into that M6. There you go, 443. Already breaking the 3,000 damage barrier at 3,400. I would love to tap a shell into that T-2065, but we don't have the most hit points, and that guy still has 1,600 left. So we're going to drive right over this hill here and see if we can get a lovely tap into you. Yeah, T-26, not necessarily the best armor profile. And as well, we do have great DPM, so I'm just going to get one more tap into this guy here. Maybe even a nice little, oof, that was a bad shell, but maybe even a nice little ram. There we go, 224 damage on the ram. As I've said, this tank is actually great for ramming. Let's load an HE. We would have finished him off with an HE there, but, oof, turret landing on me. Something I always question is, some turrets damage you when they land on you, and some don't. But this turret is literally just slowing us down. We are not going to be able to damage this guy, all because of this turret, I have a feeling. Ooh, you know, we might be able to. No. But, you know what? We still did break, I think, almost 4,000 damage this battle. So you really did get to see that the Jagdpanther II actually, yeah, over 4,000 damage in this game. So the Jagdpanther II is a great tank, and I definitely feel that's better than the Ferdinand, but don't get me wrong, both of them are great vehicles all in all. So let me know which tank you guys like in the comments down below. Is it the Ferdinand, the Jagdpanther II? Let's see what you get out of this chest real quick. We got... that was actually pretty good. So, of course, if you like this type of content, please make sure to click that subscribe button down below. It really does help out the channel. But other than that, I hope you're all doing well out there. Stay happy, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next one.